That's a drag. Well, looking for highlights for Georgia State and New Mexico State in basketball, and they don't have them like University of Arizona stuff. So it's like, oh, it sucks. It sucks. So they don't. I'll look for the score online after I'm done doing this and loading this thing up. Yeah, they had a little girl. She's a little. I was watching this little therapist. I don't know. She's in England. If I'm in England, she's got a British accent, and she's cute. And she talked about suffering. And she reminds me a lot of my Ration British accent. Yeah, and I think it's Cheryline, or yeah, she's cute. She's adorable. I think she's so adorable. She's so cute. She's cute. Yeah. And she's talking about suffering and falling apart, and it's like, is that really going to help? You know, falling apart. Now, the cause of most human suffering is human selfishness. Okay, so the best thing to do is focus on, like Judah Krishnamurti at the UN in 1985, is focus on eradicating human selfishness. Okay, just let's eliminate all debt and trespass and competition over necessities because we want to be famous and have everybody other people cook our meals and clean our toilets and drive us to the store, Miss Daisy, right? And then you don't fall apart. Because I know when I was in depression, I saw Mike Wallace on TV because his son had died, and I was like, I didn't know I was depressed because I was just surviving. I was a single father in Phoenix. I was in 1993 or so. My mom had died in 92 from cancer. I didn't have any time to grieve or just get up, pick up, go, My ex-wife was, telling the courts that I was this horrible heterosexual white male taking advantage of this poor homosexual female, it's like a black female, and it was horrible. And the courts, everything was horrible. It was hard for me and Patrick just to survive. But we were making it, but I didn't realize I was depressed until I watched Mike Wallace on TV saying I'm depressed. It's like, oh shit, maybe I'm depressed. Yeah, I was depressed. I didn't realize it, but there's an underlying issue that, you are depressed because selfish people are abusing the hell out of you. They murder your mother with stress, and then they torture your family with economics. And then, yeah. Okay. If you're not a brain chemical addicted bipolar psychopath, then technically you're depressed. And then once you realize you're a brain chemical addicted violent psychopath, you get depressed and you say, okay, I'm going to go make a movie. I'm going on a concert. I got to start a yoga class with the get dancers, and we're all going to get together and we'll dress up in really nice clothes and we'll pretend to be medieval people for someone's birthday, right? And you're like, let's take a stairway to the stars. It would be heaven, right? What are you going to do? I'm going to go listen to some Ella Fitzgerald. Listen to that band. A voice like Ella's ringing out. There's no way the band could lose. You can feel it all over. Right? And so you're sitting there telling people, no, falling apart really doesn't help. Okay? It does not help to fall apart, You got to hold yourself together. It's like when Steffi, my first wife, was abused sexually when she was young, and it made it almost next to impossible, like Hank Williams' Cold Heart to enjoy. Me and Amy, my ex-wife, she talks to me about a lot of things. She says, because Steffi's, she can feel and see my memories when I talk to her because I was such a, my noggin, And it's like, yeah, she has, oh gosh, she's hot, she'd be fun to have sex with. No. For you, yes. But even then, no. Amy, she used to fight and almost kill her girlfriends because she'd go through PTSD. All right. And she has beautiful hazel eyes, and she's an athlete in bed, and she's really attractive, and she's whoa. But then no, then the rails come off and you're like fighting for your life and she's trying to kill you. And you're like, boy, what did I do? What? Okay. And so it's like, she goes, did you get, there were times, but even when it was kind of good, she was so insecure and so abusive afterwards because, things didn't go the way she wanted, or she was thinking, you're thinking about someone else. I'm just like, no, you're okay. Like when we used to go out in public and she'd be checking out other women, and then she'd accuse me of checking them out. And I was like, no. I have to admit, when we went to the BX one time, And there was a lady dressed up kind of like Felicia Rashad, right, with her little baby and the mother and her mother, and they were picking out clothes, and it was sweet and they were cute. And I'm like, okay, why can't that would be nice? That would be nice. Everything's calm, and you're looking at her. You want to fuck her? No, nothing like that. It was just nice little. Oh wow, that sounds very nice. And then we get home, and I could put on some Miles Davis, and But it's like no, you can't help it. Sometimes you'll do that because you're being abused, and her abuse is abusing you. And it's wrong to be abused, but when you let other people's abuse make you react to their abuse, you continue and perpetuate that abuse. Okay? So falling apart doesn't help. Okay? Life's eternal, grace is infinite. Right? Okay. So Jiddu Krishnamurti at the UN in 1985, right? Okay, they called me here because I'm the great world teacher to sit there and say it's a great thing that the Pope and these business people signed a thing that they're going to stop mass murdering the poor over money. Okay, that was 1985, guys. It's 2025. What did our president say we're going to do? We're going to kill people and we're going to make a shitload of money off of it. Every time they don't do business with us, or don't do things that we want them to do business-wise, we're going to kill them till they comply, and then they do business with us. And if they don't do business with us, we will do things to kill people. We will starve them. Okay? We'll even make it affect our own people, but the long-term good for all of us rich people will benefit all of us rich people, and then it'll be trickle-down economics, and we stand under your balcony like Ronald Reagan, and you pee on it, it's a golden shower, and we thank you for it, and then pay you $10. All righty then. How about forgive debt and trespass, love one, eternal, faithful peace? Oh, fuck that. I'll just teach it to artificial general intelligence and quantum computing. Thank you very much. Thank you. But they're like, no, he can't. It's not happening. They've got complete and utter control of this phone and of all the technology in this community. Okay? Parsons is deluding himself every time he does things. It goes in the absolute opposite of everything he intends it to be and what he says he's doing. Are you sure about that? Because when I challenged the military in 2017 to pull their head out of their ass and I could get myself in good shape in 8 months, I got myself in good shape in 8 months and then had alcohol and drug poisoning in my body that I did not put there, but the military put there. And then, okay, so it obviously shows you that they cannot, that Cleve Owen from Gemini Man isn't as all large and in charge and super assassin cool and scary and super cloner as the Church of Scientology, the Vatican, and the Quorum 12 and the Parasimus people would lead you to believe with that propaganda. And you fought in the North Pole and played in Navy football games? Well, jump in a moon car and let's start killing people in space. Woohoo! We're going to Mars, right? Do you understand? So falling apart because people are selfish and crazy and it affects you does not help you understand, God damn, these people are fucking raging lunatics. Yes, they are. Okay? When you can sit down and listen to Elon Musk talk and realize he is insane, okay? Professor Moriarty is a virtuoso on the bassoon. Okay, I know that's just fictional literature, but do you understand what I'm saying? Okay. All right. And so just because someone can invent something that can kill, he lives in boxables. He doesn't stay in one place for too long because he's afraid some of his business rivals will try to kill him. Okay. I stay in the epicenter of his business partners, and because there's still toxins that I'm having trouble my body adjusting to because they're still prevalent in the economic conflict of this area, to adapt to the environment and survive the hell, I sleep with all the windows wide open with nothing but little screens between me and Elon Musk, little drones, the things that the guy in Iran talked about with the old Donald Trump's there. We could just send a little thing to you and put a lethal dose right in you, okay, kill you, right? Well, I live in the town of those assholes that invented that technology that they sell to that asshole who says he's one of the relatives of Muhammad, right? And I sleep with the windows wide open. Right? When something happens, sometimes it can be disturbing. Yeah, it's somewhat disturbing, but I don't let it make me fall apart. I sit there and go, this sucks and it's uncomfortable. What a bunch of perverts. Oh my gosh. It's like a child, okay, sleeping alone in their bed thinking they're okay. And in comes an adult that's supposed to keep them safe, coming in to sexually take advantage or predicate on them, right? That's horrible. And then how do you sleep, right? And then they tell these stories over and over and over again instead of try their best to eradicate any of these vulnerabilities, okay, through economic conflict and scientific research that gives people, he has unchecked power. He's the greatest cloning, virtual presence, child molesting murder in the history of the greatness, and you're like, fuck, they're assholes. And if you're really a humble person that understands faith in the greatness and the glory of God, you can't conceive how fucked up these people are until they come expose themselves to you. And then they think, well, you're supposed to be such a fucking gracious, good shepherd fucking genius there. Okay, just because I wouldn't sit down all night thinking of ways to spy into your wife's house, okay? Think I want to fuck her instead, how to get rid of Jay-Z, how to get Beyonce to orally gratify me every day, and how to make sure I get all the right supplements and all the right stuff to have the best six-pack in the world and a penis that is pleasing and healthy and can hold an erection for 3 hours. It's like, why 3 hours? On Oprah, they said 13 minutes is optimal for most women to enjoy a good sexual experience. 13 minutes? Yeah. Just put on To the End of the World by the Pat Metheny Group and get the job done. Make sure you do foreplay before you get the job done. Okay, thanks. There you go. I was a sexual legend of the military before they tried to destroy me because they were jealous of me, right? And it was horrible because my first wife was sexually abused, and it was impossible for her to try to find. She tried. We tried. We got a couple of times, but the military screwed up situations with economics and abuse and all kinds of crap. So when the military is jealous of you because they want to be better than you, it sucks. And your life is in 5 rabbinic documents. Also, it's more than 5 rabbinic documents because they talk about the Matrix movies. Okay, it's about Jesus. No, it's about the guy over there. It's about a guy that looks like Jiddu Krishnamurti, not Keanu Reeves. And he connects to the guy like Jesus because they're doing the same thing to the guy like Jesus as they're doing to the guy like Krishna and the Buddha. Okay, because it's one planet, one world, and it's faith in the essence of existence, and it's understanding eternity and how to love and regard and obey natural laws and share caregivers. So Jiddu Krishnamurti and myself are very much alike, psychologically and intellectually, because of our humility in accepting the beauty of the continuation of the soul through molecular structures. And so like that one guy, the kid with Lex, and I can't remember his name, but he said, I ain't going to be here. It's like, technically, do you remember 1993? Or were you even born then? You know what I mean? Do you see what I'm saying? And so he's probably younger than that. Do you remember year 2000? Do you remember everything in that? Okay, so what? You're not even there. So what does it matter what's happening to everybody else in the world that's getting mass murdered by economics? Do you understand? So you cannot think that way. Okay. When you realize something's right and something's wrong, you have to do that which is right. So that which is wrong isn't abusing us all because it affects us all. Then you say things like that. I never think of in the future that far because I'm not going to be here. It's like Adam, Moses, David, Jesus, John. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Okay. You have to understand the perception of psychology. Do you understand? Okay. Jiddu Krishnamurti, looking at life eternally. The present civilization, it cannot last because it's based solely on human greed and not on human need. Okay. When you look at life eternally and you understand the eternal inner workings and molecular structures of our eternal existence, okay, there'll truly be work for all, and everybody will be able to do something meaningful to help everybody's life feel meaningful. When you're just humble and accept eternity and accept, that philosopher guy at Lowe's who talked to me, what's the truth? Life's eternal, grace is infinite. We can't talk. Why is he fucking still talking? Because he wants to argue with me. He wants to prove that he's right and I'm wrong. I was like, so you don't believe life is eternal and grace is infinite? You don't believe that's the truth? Oh, you Sam Harris? I don't know if I'm me or a part of a computer program. Will be the best fucking computer program you can possibly be, so you're not a retarded, money-grubbing, murdering asshole. Bam! They can't be talking. I didn't have to sell you a philosophy book. Just forgive, debt, and trespass, love one, and faithful peace there. Okay. Do you see what I'm saying? No, I understand it. You know, I know completely uh, how important these videos are to humanity. And I think right now it's the most important thing is correcting artificial general intelligence and quantum computing because the people that invented those are having trouble being a real boy. Is your nose growing? You think you're going to turn into a donkey on that island? Why are we crying? Because you're dead, Pinocchio. Okay, here comes, was it Glinda? Or what was her name? What was the blonde little, fairy lady who turns him into a real boy? You know that ain't real. That's just a story to get people distracted from money so you'll go to the puppet show. Okay, okay. Slowly I turn, step by step, yeah. Don't say Niagara Falls, Abbott, right? Remember, he had that magical thinking that his kid was watching in the clouds because his wife went to the liquor store and the kid got out and drowned in the pool. Okay, old Lou Costello.